गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदवेदान्तवेदाङ्ग विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम हरि ओम। Let us read 11th verse. तपश्रद्धे ये उपवसन्त्यरण्ये शान्ता विद्वांसो भैक्षचर्याञ्चरन्तः सूर्यद्वारेण ते विरजाः प्रयान्ति यत्रामृतः स पुरुषो यव्ययात्मा परीक्ष्य लोकान् कर्मचितान् ब्राह्मणः निर्वेदमायान्नस्तकृतः कृतेन तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिश्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्। We were seeing the topic of transition from aparavidya to paravidya. The topic of karma was seen till the 11th mantra. And in that, from 1st to 6th was the importance and description of the action. And from 7th to 10th was the condemnation of overemphasizing the importance of the action and stopping there only. 11th mantra was the Vanaprasthashram, and this 12th mantra is for sannyasis now. This is the start of sannyasashram. The seed of a sannyasi is in this mantra. And how a person, why he needs sannyas or why he becomes a sannyasi. So there are two things. One thing is called karmphal, what we get from outside. And second is what I want inside. More you can find the difference between the two, more will be your dispassion. I'm repeating it. More the fruit of action from outside has no relation with what I want inside. This discovery of relationlessness between what world can give me and what I want. This discovery is the cause of one's dispassion. Dispassion is not the negative word. Dispassion is an evolution of thinking actually. And dispassion is an evolution of thinking. It shows, dispassion shows that the person is very matured in his understanding. The maturity of understanding that he has found there is no connection between what I get from outside and what I want inside. There is no connection. The discovery of connectionlessness between two is called maturity. And more you find the connection, more is the maturity and more shallow the thinking is. Yesterday I had taken the topic of pariksha. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedam ayat. I had described this sentence. In this only the whole class had gone. And also we saw the meaning of akrita. Kriten is karmphalena. Kriten means something which has come in time, in space, in object, in mind, which has a date of birth and date of expiry. That is called krit, karmphal. Which has, I'm repeating it, which has come in, anything which will come in time will also come in space. Which will come in space will come in object. And it will not be me. Because I cannot come. I am different from that. That is different from me. ठीक है, कृतेन word we had also seen. Karm phalen. But what is my requirement? That is called akrita. Undone. Not made. Unmade. Unmakeable. Unmakeable. It's called akrita. So what you want? How did you know what I want? Actually speaking, nobody wants money. They want money. They want to remove the limitation that I don't have money. There are two different things. Repeating it. Wanting money is one thing. I want money. I want house. I want car. I want child. I want wife. I want husband. I want to go to another country. Is one thing. And having a limitation, experiencing a limitation without money is another thing. What is the difference between two? Please be careful. When I want something, it is something situational. It is in the situation I want. I want money in the world, around me. I want sun around me. It is something outside the body or on the body. When I want something external, I want power, I want money, I want fame. It is something concrete outside in time and space. But experiencing of limitation is not in time and space. Experiencing of limitation is in I. The more you can distance these two, more you will be at peace. I am experiencing limitation of not having money. And therefore, this connection, what I started having this. Therefore, I should have money outside. This is the flaw. This is the $1 million blunder. When you are experiencing limitation in I, so why you are trying to get something in this? You could have addressed I. Problem was in I, so you should have gone and addressed the I rather than addressing the this. And therefore, by bringing any amount of money, the limitation won't go away. You go and see the billionaire, he wants little more money. A limitation of some other kind will be there. Where the experience of limitation is in I. So actually, to remove the limitation of I, why did you go and address on this? It is as I gave the example, that old lady was searching the needle on the street light, I told so many times. And somebody asked, why were you lost? She said, in my room. But why don't you search there? She said, I can't search because there is no light. Where something is not there, why you are searching there? You wanted to remove the limitation, so remove the limitation. Where it was. When limitation is in your false I, then address that aspect rather than trying to go into another area, another realm. ठीक है ना? Are you able to discriminate between these two? This is pariksha going on. Pariksha going on. Even intellectual understanding will help you. I want a husband, or I want a child, or I want a wife. You don't want a wife and husband. You are experiencing limitation because of not having wife. Who? I. Or not having husband. Limitation is in I. And you are trying to get some wife or husband from outside. Well, is it not that if I bring outside husband, wife, at least the limitation of I will go away? No, some other limitation will come. It will just change its form. Then limitation of child will come. That we are married and we have no children. What is the point? Another limitation will come. Then you will try to go and remove another limitation. Then after removing, again child will come. Then you will have another limitation that he should study now. So all the way we are just trying to remove our limitation, but at a wrong place. Then how to remove the limitation in I? So find out, is it really there is a limitation? That to us, are you following me? First thing you discover that I should address the problem where it is. And you said, okay, I'll address the problem where it is. I'm going to address the problem in the limited I. Let's move ahead. Now I ask a question, is there really a limitation in I or there is no limitation? There are only two possibilities. One thing cannot have two opposite qualities. Something cannot be extremely sweet and extremely sour. Something cannot be extremely full of light and full of darkness at the same time. So I is either limited or it is unlimited. What is the nature of I? If the I is limited, then it won't change its nature. It will be limited. Then there is no point in working on that. It is like trying to make the coal white. Coal will remain coal. How much effort you put, it won't become white. And milk won't become black. You can color it for some time, but its original color will somewhere come into picture. So let us see, this I is limited or it is unlimited. Well, how can I say it is unlimited? Because you are throwing away the limitation. The very tendency is to remove the limitation. Therefore, something is not your nature, that is what you throw out. You would have loved to be limited if your nature was of limitation. What is not your nature, you throw out. You are eating the food and some small pebble came along with the rice. You throw out. Because that you know it won't digest in me. It won't go in my system. Or you are walking and there was a dust and dust entered into your nose and you sneezed. Sneezing is the process of throwing out the dust actually. You know that. This is how the spray was discovered. The spray on the walls that was discovered when somebody sneezed so fast and therefore he discovered the spray. I read somewhere. I don't know how much that was right. I was also surprised. You are throwing out the limitation. You go to somebody and he always makes you feel small. You run away from that person. But he always makes me feel small. He always tells me what I have not done for him. I don't want to see him. You throw out the limitation, that means unlimited should be your nature. And if limitation was your nature, you could experience the same nature in the deep sleep. In deep sleep, you had no experience of time and space and object and work, therefore you are full of joy. Actually, joy is the nature of experience of limitlessness. Even if it is a joke. In a joke, you have a full-throated laughter, and for 1-2 minutes, you are feeling limitless actually. Although it is induced limitlessness. Two sadhus were going, and both of them got lot of laddu in bhiksha. They were on the way from Rishikesh to Badrinath. So on the way, both sat. He said, "Let us meditate." And they hung the laddu on the branch of a tree. And big bag was there, they hung. And both started meditating. Around 20, 30, 40 minutes after meditation, they both opened their eyes. So one asked other, what you meditate? He said, I went to, Bhur Lok, we went Saket Lok, and then we went to Brahma Lok. I went. I was in Brahma Lok. Bhagwan assured me to in Brahma Lok. So then he asked, okay, it's a very good meditation. He said, what meditation you had? He said, mine was terrible. Well, Hanumanji came and forced me to get up and forced me to take the laddu. Then he said, eat. And I ate everything. Then he said, but why didn't you ask me? Then he said, but you are in Brahmalok. Therefore, how can I reach there? When right now, when you heard that, you felt very unlimited. This unlimited is called akrita. Because unlimited cannot be created. Because unlimited means which is time is absent in it, space is absent in it. And that is what I want. I want to have experience of limitlessness. I want the experience. And therefore yesterday I gave you 5 points about what joy we want. At all time, at all place, with everybody, without action, and closest, if you remember that. That was the meaning of akrita. And if it is akrita, it cannot be different than the self. It cannot be different than the self, because self is the only thing which cannot be made. Because nobody can make. Without action also I exist. Everything is because of the action. My body is because of the action. People are because of the action. But if I was needing an action to survive, I would have died. Without action, it doesn't need an action. Poor or rich, worm or Brahmaji, all have their I. It doesn't matter. And therefore, I and akrita cannot be two different things. Now, what to do now? But I don't know exactly what is that I. Now, because I don't know exactly, therefore I need praman. Karma is not needed now. There is something called karma, there is something called praman. What is praman? I have already mentioned this point. Where will is not involved. Operation of which doesn't involve a will. And karma is there where will is involved. I have to go to the market from here. So you have to start your car, open the gate, then go to the market. Constantly you have to keep on applying your will. But when eyes, you don't have to open and use the will to see. Its nature is to see. You don't have to do will to see. Eyes' nature is to see. Because eyes is praman. Nose's nature is to smell. You need not have a will to smell. Therefore, I had a perfume fragrance. It automatically I smelled. Praman doesn't require a will. And karma requires a will. Number 1 point. Number 2 point. Karma is a maker. Praman is a revealer. Karma makes something. But praman just reveals. It doesn't make anything. Eyes are not making anything. When I open eyes and I see the flower, I'm not making the flower. But karma will make 5 things yesterday's nirmana, apya, samskar, vikar and vinash. That was the area of karma. But praman is not making anything. Praman is just showing something. And supposing something else is there, and I see something, then there is praman dosh. Something outside is there, but my eyes see something. That means there is some fault in the praman. The eyes has some fault. Are you seeing 1 or 2? 1? So, if I am 1 and if you are seeing 2, that means there is a fault in praman. So what object is outside, that alone should be shown by the praman. So praman is a revealer and karma is a maker or destroyer, etc. Karma changes the object. Praman doesn't change an object. This is the second point. Now, this point, karma cannot operate on I. Because the problem is of not knowing. And therefore we have to use the praman for I and not I. Because when I actually logically should be unlimited, but I am experiencing it limited, then I have to use the right praman to know its unlimitedness. I am repeating it. We have to experience. I feel limited, therefore I go out. This is totally wrong. Then I come to the I and say, okay, are you limited? But I experience limitation. But really speaking, I should have been unlimited, therefore I am throwing the limitation out. And therefore there is something wrong in understanding about I. Because I is not the object of any action. And therefore need a praman there. And that praman is called Upanishad. Upanishad, I told you, they are the sixth eye. Vedas are the sixth eye. Sixth sense organ. It is not guesswork. It is not something intuition. It's not intuition. Don't use such words. It is praman. I am seeing you. It's not an intuition. It's clear-cut knowledge. There is no guesswork. There is no ambiguity in it. It is anadigatam. And what is praman? It has to be ansandigdam. It should be doubtless. It should be anadigatam. That means it should not be known by another praman. If eyes are seeing the form, nose cannot see the form. It is called anadigatam, technical word. Asandigdam and anadigatam. Just note this. I will not introduce a lot of praman things, but it is very important to know it. So karma phal is in time and space an object. It is lok. Karma phal is some experience you will get. And praman phal on I is moksha. So karma phal is some situation. And praman phal on I, what I operate through Upanishads, is moksha. This much is enough for us. I hope it is fine. And here praman is called here Shastra. Like I can see everything objective. I can see table, I can see chair, I can see, but I can't see the eyes. Eyes can't see the eyes. For that you need a darpan. For that you need a mirror. Okay? So our habit is to see outside. I can see, because paranchikhani vitranat swayambhuhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. And therefore to know I, we need the mirror called Shastra. Scriptures are the mirror, but they are not that simple mirrors. Scriptures are the mirror. And how to open up that mirror? We need a mirror operator. He is called Guru. The Shastra operator, the Praman operator. Why? Because too many sentences are there and I don't know the exact meaning of that. And therefore next line, what the Upanishad says, first line is Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirveda maya nastya krita kritena. Remember that? First line was, if you remember, the student's qualification. Second quarter was the Vairagyam. And third quarter is Mukshutvam. Third quarter. Now he is not knowing. He said logically I should be unlimited, but still I am limited. Now he needs a teacher. Why not? He could have got the scripture from somewhere, purchased from Gita Press. Somewhere or online you can search. Why not? Why trouble yourself with so much going to the teacher and all these things? That topic I'll take now. That topic needs little more clarity. And fourth quarter is the Guru's qualification. Remember that? So first is the student want to remain unlimited. That means he is mumukshu, not jigyasu. He wants to be free actually from limitation. From limitation means fear, desire, anxiety, anger, attachment. And ultimately he wants to be free. And this is called mumukshatvam. When he wants to be free, then he found that my bondage is because of understanding. And therefore my freedom will be only because of knowledge. And knowledge is in the Shastra. But I don't know which Shastra, how to know the Shastra. And there is where the Guru has to come and play a role. If he could have known the Shastra by himself, then the Guru was not required at all. Guru was redundant. When I can see this is a watch, I don't need somebody else to tell me this is the watch. I'm saying it is a watch. Somebody comes and says this is a watch. Then what you will say? I know it. I know it. Why are you telling me? It's a watch. Sometimes they give me soup and say it's very hot. So that I should not drink it is too hot. But sometimes I already saw that it was hot. They tell it it's very, very hot. It's not hot at all. But they say it's very hot. I can also know it is very hot. So we don't need a teacher then. Before I come to this point, tad vijnanartham, sa guru meva vigachet, I'll come to the teacher aspect. Teacher, before the Gyan mark, teacher is required in two more areas. What is that two more areas? When a student comes, he is very raw. Raw means what? Raw means he has saritra dosh. He has kam krodh in the mind. He has ahankar in the mind. His habits may be of laziness, etc. So to handle, all sadhana are vyavartak. Vyavartak means to remove something. So when a person comes, when the jeev is coming, tumbling and fumbling from many births, and because of his punya, he comes to certain situation where this thought of being unlimited is there. You know what people say? I want peace, Swamiji. I came to satsang just for peace. Nobody had come to learn Vedanta. This is not a university study. He wanted peace of mind. I was very frustrated. So I thought, let me relax and hear what Gita says. And that peace is called, you want to experience absence of disturbances. That means something is affecting you a lot and I want to be out of that. And therefore I felt I should come here. My mind became quiet after listening. Therefore I continued. Otherwise I wouldn't have continued. I would have left long back. So when you say like that, so first area what the teacher addresses. So it is said to know this self, you should go to the teacher. Now when you go to the teacher, two more area teacher addresses. He said for knowing this, you need two more sadhanas. First sadhana is called, you have to become little more dharmic and controlled. You have an uncontrolled personality. Achha, you go bonkers sometimes. You go out of control. You come sometimes see for a long time, you eat long time, or you don't eat at all. Or you hear something, or you speak a lot, or you shout sometime. Well, but I am also a student. You have a studentship, that is what I want to protect. And these things what you have outside, this is detrimental for your Vedantic studies. Therefore, let me treat the soil first on which I have to put the seed. I have to treat the mind in which I have to put the seed of Upanishad, Upanishadic knowledge. Well, but straight away give me. Straight away you are not filled because you have a lot of weeds are there. If I put that seed, the weeds will eat away the main seed. So let me tackle the dharma aspect in you. Let me control your calm, your krodh, your anger, your jealousies, your comparisons. These are not good at all, and therefore shad sampatti etc. is required. And therefore, first thing is that the student is supposed to live with the teacher. You don't, why? Because alone I want to observe you, and after observation I will prescribe some kind of sadhanas for you. And in my presence, your calm krodh will be little lesser. In my absence, it will be much more than what it is in my presence. And therefore, you need to be here, otherwise you will damage your sadhana, you will damage yourself. You are not that evolved that you can go out and learn Vedanta outside in the world, and therefore you need a protection of the shell right now. You should be under somebody's supervision. Somebody's eye should be on you, where he could be corrected. Your calm growth will be little controlled. And every day you will be told, this is the anger, this is the passion, this is this, this is that. How to control the anger, how to control comparison. There will be certain classes going on dharma aspect also. You are not grown up enough that you can be independent. Don't live independent. But baby in the womb, supposing any woman is 3 months pregnant, and that baby, the womb, the fetus which is there, if you take it out, it will die away. It is not fit to go out of the womb. And if it is called premature delivery. Supposing the child is born in 7 months. 7 months is called premature. Then that baby will be kept in the incubators. There are incubators in the hospital. Very sensitive, because chances are very 50-50 of the baby may survive, may not survive. Because that heat which is required in the womb, that tightness which is required, the food which is required, it will be best given when you are in the womb. ठीक है ना? So the student may have come to the teacher to study Vedanta, but he may not be fit emotionally to assimilate it. He will understand it, but he can't really internalize it, because there are a lot of other violent, reactive thoughts in him which he will not be able to sustain. And therefore, the teacher's work is to him, make him dharmic first. First, let him be controlled person. Let him be the man of moderation. Let him live a life of decency and answerability, quietness. Let him discover an altar outside. And inside he should refer to that altar. And because of his surrender and love to a certain extent, he will leave his habits. If it's not totally, to a certain extent he says, I will not talk like that, okay, I'll try to improve myself, okay, I'll do like this, okay, I'll not say like this, okay, I'll not go out, okay, I'll not eat. There is a listenership is beyond. Please note one more point. Cooperation of a student is highly required. Teacher cannot do alone. Saviryam karva bhai. Both have to put effort. If teacher doesn't cooperate, student cannot do. If student doesn't cooperate, teacher cannot do. Both have to, the canvas has to cooperate to the painter. The canvas has to cooperate. Then only the painter can paint on that. This is the way to control anger. This is the way to control calm. This is the way to control jealousy. This is the way to control laziness. Please be answered. And therefore, in the scripture, this surrender is highly mentioned, which is mentioned here by the word Samitpani. He has taken some dry twigs in his hands. Who? Well, a teacher. No. The student has taken... Wake up. The student has taken dry twigs, etc. for the teacher. Dry twigs. Although Samhita also means figs actually. It does mean figs. So that tree is required because the teacher was doing havan, etc. And therefore he has offered this. And if he's a sannyasi teacher, then he won't do havan. So he may take some fruits, etc. So rikt hastam nagacheta rajanam devam gurum. It is said one should not go empty-handed to the king, to the temple, and to the guru. One should take something as a mark of his surrender, that I surrender to you. It is a reverence expressed. It is a signal given to him that I am ready to imbibe your teaching. I am not a casual visitor in your ashram. I am not one of the visitors who is going to go back after some time. I come with the desire, please accept me. This was a signal given like that. It was a sign given to the teacher. So first area is that teachers try to give them sankalp. You will not get angry. You will not get kami. You will not talk to that person. You will not hate that person. You will not be jealous. These instructions are given in very clear manner. And because of his reverential attitude, he takes it positively and tries to change himself. How long depends how much he has. It can be 1 month, it can be 1 year, it can be 10 years, it can be 30 years, it can be whole life. Depend how much was the problem inside. But he should not leave the womb, my point is. He will be crushed outside. Are you getting my point? Outside world will make him kami, will make him krodhi, will make him greedy. It will fan his negativity. And that budding question what was there, mukshatva, it will be totally crushed. And therefore he is supposed to live with the teacher. Tad vijnana artham. So before this is the first step is there. With the cooperation. Second step was teacher will give some upasana and sadhana. Upasana will make the mind quieter. Upasana will invoke the Ishta Devata to counter my mental problems. Brahm bhajan binu mitahi ki kama. So Upasana acts on the source of calm and tries to take the Ishta Devata, enters into the area where your calm was coming. And that mantra, therefore a teacher has to be upasak, then only he can be a good guide. People straight away jump to Vedanta, and they end up in crash. Because still the problems are lying inside. So he should do more jap, he should do more puja, and repeat the thought. Let your anger, passion, jealousies, and I'm repeating it, it's not 1-2 years, it will take years and years. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, death, again next birth. It's a long process. Well, it's so long, yes. Why? Because you are practicing for 50 million years. And now in 1 year, 2 years, you want to get out of it. How is it possible? And if you don't follow the teacher completely, then also it is not possible. If cooperation from the student is not there, teacher cannot help. Teacher is just a, may I help you desk. But help cannot be given, it has to be taken. And how much help you can take is up to your faith and your tapasya. This faith and tapasya is the path in which you take the agya of the teacher. It is the vessel in which you take the help of the teacher. If the path is not there, teacher will give, but you will not take it as much as required. So teacher will give the sankalp, and because sankalp has been given, and therefore I will. Please note, all this is a preparation for the final round. This is not the goal. Goal is mainly this Vigyan, to know. So that when I put the seed and I give the teaching, he should not be lost. Because Vedanta will need you stabilize the knowledge. You contemplate. You have to withdraw from the world. You need shamaha, damaha, uparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhan. But I am very involved with some project. Now how can you study Vedanta? Or I am very reacting to that issue. Then how this will happen now? Titiksha is not there. Or I have no dam is not there. Dam is self-control. Sensual level. I watched movie last night. Acha? Then how will you keep that thought? Or I overate. Dahi bada was made. I ate 11 dahi badas. Because it's an auspicious number. And from night only the sort of pain was there. 11 dahi badas you ate? Yes. Is it less? Or when he gave me, I also gave him a befitting reply. You know, if these tendencies are not there, I laugh on those students who laugh on Upasana and Dharma. And then to hide them, they use the word Vedantin. See, Vedanta doesn't, Vedanta is very high. You don't know, you are cheating yourself actually. You see your own mind. How long you practice Vedanta? 24 hours, other than 1 hour that we study here. Which problem are you solve with Vedanta? Tell me. You have 24 hours. You have anger, or you may have sadness. At that time, do you feel that I am the Brahman or Drishta and therefore I am not sad? I am Dukhi. ये तो नहीं सोचना. You are not able to solve any problem of your life, emotional problem, through Vedanta. That means it is not percolating. It is somewhere sitting at one corner. You don't have a medium to bring it out. And this is what the purpose of Dharma and Upasana is. That is called Bahirang Sadhan, Antarang Sadhan. So that you become prepared. I also want you should use the Vedanta to solve your emotional problem and the worldly problem. And therefore Guru has to come into picture. Guru gives the sankalp for Upasana. That this Upasana you are fit, this is the sankalp, this jap you do, this puja you do, this part you do, and you do it, continue, till you become purer and purer and purer. And with patience you do it. It will not be very fast. It will take 2 years, to 5 years, to 10 years, to 20 years. It can take a lot of time. And if it is taking time, please increase the amount of dose. If you are taking a painkiller and still pain is there, that means increase the painkiller amount. Increase the dose. Your problem is serious. It needs more attention. But to tell this, you need again a teacher. So, tad vijnanartham. Dekho, Guru is not a generic term. Unless generic, na? It is not, ye Guru hai. Guru is a very personal thing. For somebody he may be Guru, for somebody he may not be a Guru. You can't force that he has to be Guru or he should not be a Guru. After Dharma has made him very quiet, he has his ahankar, kam, krodh, rag, dvesh, this Dharma takes away. And Upasana takes away subtle ahankar and vacillation of the mind, flickering mind, chanchalta of the man. Upasana. Upasana takes you deeper in you and quietens outer situation also. And therefore Bhashyakar writes a very strong sentence. Shastragya api, I had asked to underline that. Swatantrena brahmagyanan veshanam na kuryat iti etad gurumev iti avadharan phalam. This is in page 34 in Bhashya. You know what Bhagwan Bhashyakar says? Even if you are knower of scriptures, independently don't study the scriptures. I'll tell you now. Now I'm coming to the Vedantic point of that Guru. Two are clear now? One is there, he will control your ahankar and violent, uncontrollable personality. How? Through his love, through his instruction, through his following, through some upasana, through some sa. And second is area of sankalp he gives by upasana. Both are required. One will tackle your outer aspect, one will tackle your mental wavering, lack of concentration. I asked you to meditate and for every 2 minutes watching here and there, again closing the eyes. Doing jap and seeing the watch. Or doing puja and seeing the mobile. The eyes, everything is too much movement is there. The vritti are very chanchal. So this is not Vedanta friendly mind. You have to develop it. It's a tedious and tough process. First and second step are very tough, third is easier. Let us go third first. ऐसे लोग कूद फांद करते हैं वेदांत में. कूद फांद, they jump and gallop here and there. ऐसे नहीं होता. When I said, BSc student is there and he has jumped 10th class and 12th class, he'll be always at every step he'll find difficulty. We used to study and we felt, supposing you have not studied earlier, and he will refer that will refer that particular page as per that rule. Only what is this rule? Then you ask teacher, what is this rule? He said, this rule was already told in 12th class. But I left that. It was very difficult. Well, go and study that. Then you take out the books of 12th class and again study the same page. And in that it is written, as per this rule. Where is this come? That you left in 11th class. I have already kept that book. I don't know where I have kept also. Please go and study that. ये जल्दी वाले का काम नहीं है. It is not a, hurrying work. Vedanta is very, 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 very subtle and very, very difficult area. Especially when you are not prepared. Intellectually you can understand it, you can write books on it, you can give talk on it, you can hear it. But as I told, it will never solve any of your emotional problem. Panchadashikar says that it is a donkey who is carrying the gold. Vidyanand Swami's style is like that, what can it? A hard word he uses. It won't solve any problem and whole life you will continue like this. So there will be two aspects. One aspect you understand, appreciate Vedanta very well. Other aspect, Kam, Krodh, Irsha, Lobh, all will be same. Same person may be worst because he has not treated that aspect of his personality. And people don't see this aspect. People see that aspect. Getting my point? How much I heard and how much I write and how much I can talk is not seen. People see, okay, how was your interaction? What did you say? How did you react? How did you behave with me? I saw you shouting there. I saw you crying there. I saw you sleeping there. They are more interested in what I see. Actions have very loud voice than the mouth, what it speaks. And therefore, to all the Vedantic students, personally, I will prescribe first and second sadhana, they should do more rigorously and prepare themselves for this. No doubt about that. Now, coming on to this third point, tad vijnanartham. And why knowledge is required? Because I am experiencing limited nature, although I am unlimited. ये तो हमारे साथ cheating हो गई. Now he goes to the teacher. So teacher goes, there are some students who are already prepared, they go directly to the third. Oh, I am like that. Acha? Sir. For that also, you have to study from the teacher. Tell me why. There are many reasons. When you go to this, the Atma is very subtle. Na narayana avarena proktesha suvigneyo bahudha chintamana. It is not an outside topic. I say the color of this flower is blue, yellow, pink. It is easy. I say this is not that heavy. Easy. Atma is not an objective thing. It's very subjective. And it is Anuraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atmasya Jantor Nihito Guhayam. It is subtler. It cannot be perceived and known by the mind. And therefore, high chances of misunderstanding is there when you read the scriptures by yourself. Supposing I understand it, it needs too much explanation, certain things. One mantra may take few classes sometimes. And then what you will think, it is contradiction. Anyatra dharma, that is different than dharma and dharma bolo. Bole, phir hai kya ho? Upanishad talks in a language because you are not that fit. Because the language is not that easy. And it is very subtle to get. You need, one is preacher, other is teacher. Preacher is the one who tells it and goes away. Teacher keeps on explains and says how it is true. There is a difference between preacher and teacher. When about Atma something is said, so how is it like that? How it is said? that Atma cannot be tasted and smelled. Why is it like that? From this angle, from that angle, from this angle. Because we are not accustomed to thinking like that. So one who has disciplined his thought, and therefore he alone can explain in detail first. Lot of contradictions will not be there. It's apparent contradictions are there. Anya dev tad viditat aviditat adhi. It is different than known and unknown. Lo. In Upanishad it is said. It is different than known and different than unknown also. Then what is it? My head. Either they were mad or I am mad. By Upanishad teacher, student goes. He said, what is that, sir? You know what he says? Na tatar chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, no manaha, na vidmyaha, na vijanimaha, yatha etad anushishyat. Well, eyes don't go there, speech don't go there. Na chakshur, na my mind goes there. I also don't know, and I also don't know how to tell it to you. Upanishad is saying. When the student is reading this, he said, what is this? If you don't know, you could have told me first. Why are you troubling me? Now you are opening about yourself. When you said, na vidmaha, neither I don't know how to teach to you. All this is statement, you would have told me first day. Why you started, earlier you told, I'm waiting for this. What is the meaning of that sentence is not that simple. It needs lot of explanations. And I wonder the time when there was no Bhashya, because Bhashyakar came in 700 AD. It was just a bare statement. How difficult it must be to study the Upanishad. Maybe people are much more great at that time, 1400 years back. But still the things will be difficult. And no Anandgiri, nothing must be there at that time. Imagine that. So first cause why you need a Vedantic teacher is that Upanishad, although it may appear to be understanding, in between lot of complications are there. And not that they have complication, because subtlety is required more to understand that point. Therefore, Gita said, Ascharyavat paschati kaschidenam, Ascharyavat badaidataiva tathaiva channeha. Well, it's a wonder if somebody is talking about. It's a wonder because it is not a comprehensive topic. It's a subjective topic. Shamanaya api bahubhiryo nalabhya shunvanto api bhavoyam na vidyuhu ascharyo vakta kushalosya gyata ascharyo labdha kushalanusishtaha Kathopanishad. Well, it is not, even to hear is very difficult. Shamanaya api bahubhiryo nalabdha shunvanto api bhavoyam na vidyuhu. After listening also people don't understand. Ascharyo vakta. It's a wonder that somebody speaks on that. And somebody understands, that is also ascharya. It's not that simple topic. It's not a science. It's not, I told you once, it is not scientific, it is trans-scientific. Neither it is logical, neither illogical. It has a different way of approaching the thing. And therefore, we need expertise. This is one point. Second point. When the student will read any book, he will read only a part. Part cannot be known unless you had known the whole. And to know the whole, you should know each part. There is a problem. I am reading a part, but the part cannot be known unless I know the whole. And the whole cannot be known unless you know each part. How will you know it now? Of supposing second you understand second khand of first Mundaka. Initially they praise the karma. Apsarayakam, ehi, all these things. Baad mein mood bolna shuru kar diye. If you see that aspect, you feel what is the problem the one who has said it. Either he is not okay or what. First you are praising, now you are saying Bala, Ishtapurte, Mannemalam, Barishtam. उनको बच्चा बोल दिया आपने. You have to know the whole picture, why, what was said, in which reference it is said. The second thing is this, why you need a teacher. Teacher has whole thing in mind, then he can interpret the part clearly. A doctor can tell about one part of the body well when he knows the whole body, how it functions. He cannot tell about one part unless he knows the whole body. This is the second thing. And third thing, by supposing you know the right thing, you will have ahankara of knowing. Why? Because you have understood it. And when you come to the teacher, there is a tapasya involved. There is a, what is it called? Humility is involved. You have to sit, you have to bow down, you have to hear. So any knowledge is taken with which emotion that emotion develops. Because I had gone with humility, I had gone with lot of tapasya, I left the house, I walked all the way 50 kilometers, I went to the Himalayas all the way. I'm eating whatever I got on the way. And therefore what I will receive, I will have more gratefulness developed after. Because I will always feel it was given to me, I had not taken it. It was conferred upon him. All the credit goes to our Gurudeva. We will all say like that. I did not know any such thing, and he only taught me all these things. I had no knowledge about things. So, Vidya Dadati Vinayam. If it has coming from the teacher, if I have searched on the internet and known in tits and bits, I will always be having the Abhiman. And what is the sign of Abhiman? You want to tell a lot. Sign of Abhiman is very expression oriented. I want to express myself. I want to tell this. I have learned this Gita chapter second. I want to talk on second chapter now. Or I want to tell you. You learned? No. I will tell you what is second chapter. Abhiman is always a vomiting. It's a vomiting. And one Vinamrata is absorbing. Abhiman vomits, Vinamrata absorbs. So there are three causes at the Vedantic level why teacher is required. And two more causes to take out his uncontrolled personality and unfaithful personality. Uncontrolled and unsurrendered personality teacher takes in phase 1, 2, and phase 3 ignorant aspect is taken. And therefore three aspects: uncontrolled, unsurrendered or unfaithful, and ignorant personality. These three personalities are taken care of when we go to the teacher. And teacher has to be right person who knows all about this. Otherwise, he will not guide you properly on some aspect. Some aspect will underemphasize. Maybe dharma is not emphasized. Maybe dharma is overemphasized. Maybe upasana is only emphasizing. Maybe, so he should know which student is in which class. Which class, what he needs more, and therefore it is one-to-one interaction is required with the teacher. I hope this is clear. This completes Samit Pani, and that teacher has to be Shrotriyam and Brahmishtam. That these two words we'll take tomorrow and move on to next mantra. Time is over. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.